Welcome back to the ACU Event Center here in Glendale on the campus of Arizona Christian. Adam Young, Michael Potter with you. The season opener for the Aggies and Arizona Christian trying to go to 6-0. Currently in the top 10, ranked 9th in the country at the NAIA level. Johnny McCants and Robbie Wilson will tip it up, and it's the Aggies that control the opening tip, Michael, coming off a 25-win campaign.
Yeah, Aggies just excited to be on the floor, right? Actually playing against guys with another name on their jersey for the first time this year.
And that's a turnover to start as Clayton Henry, who only played in one game a year ago because of a pair of hand injuries, steps on the sideline. How about the Firestorm averaging 100 points per game?
Yeah, this is a team that's going to get up and down the floor. They're going to shoot a lot of threes. They like to move the ball around. And back-to-back 100-point games down in Florida and played like a night game and then an afternoon game. I mean, crazy how fast they are.
And they're making led by Deron Kyle, who averages 21 points per game. They have 5 players averaging at least 13 per contest. Here's Evan Gilliard, senior from Chicago. Back outside for Donnie Tillman, one of the newcomers, and the Aggies have turned it over twice in their first 2 possessions.
Well, you can see a little rust, right? I mean, they've been practicing at a hotel and a ballroom floor, so you can see a little bit of the rust for the Aggies here.
And that's been one of the staples of a Chris Jans coach team in his tenure here, is they rarely turn the ball over. Backdoor pass to Angelo Johnson. Good find there by Robbie Wilson, the big man.
Yeah, great backdoor cut, and then Wilson knew that was coming all the way. Good design play to get the Firestorm on the board here.
2-0 Arizona Christian on their home floor. This is an exhibition game for them. It will count, though, for the Aggies. And Donnie Tillman is fouled on the ground. The foul is called on senior Darius Goudeau, who is from Mesa, Arizona. A lot of local players for 9th-year head coach Jeff Rudder for ACU.
Yeah, Tillman's one of those guys we're going to keep an eye on for New Mexico State. Excited that he's with the Aggies now, and very good player at Utah in his time there.
Jabari Rice, the preseason player of the year in the WAC, hard of the rim. No continuation. The foul is on the ground. Jabari thought maybe they would give him the hoop. Not so generous.
Jabari's been watching a lot of the NBA here. That would have been continuation in the NBA for sure. By Jabari. Very aggressive on that one.
He was so good a year ago. Everything shooting-wise, as far as his numbers are concerned, skyrocketed after his freshman year. Donnie Tillman gets fouled, and he will shoot too. He's going to do this a lot, Michael. Donnie Tillman a year ago shot 117 free throws in just 2 games at UNC.
Aggressiveness by New Mexico State. Those, the first times down, guy got the ball, just went right at the basket. Make him stop you.
Tillman, one of 7% career free throw shooter. Chris Jans doesn't have a whole lot of depth to start this season. The Aggies have a few transfers who are not yet eligible. One of the newcomers is dealing with a foot injury, so depth is an issue to start the season here in game number 1 for Chris Jans and the Aggies.
Little token full court pressure there, slow him down a little bit.
2-2 the score. Just over a minute in here in Glendale. There's that Aggie pressure. Christian probably hasn't seen this pressure, Michael, and they also caused a lot of turnovers. They've turned it over a lot this year, ACU that is.
Yeah, close to 20 times a game. They're over in right. They're going to let people score, but they're just going to outscore you. And if it's fast-paced and they're scoring, they don't really mind the turnovers as much as you might think. That one they can't be happy with, though.
A little pick and pop for Johnny McCants, who shot 40% from 3 a year ago. Saved by Rice. Handoff to Tillman. The reverse layup is no good. McCants was trying to power it home, and it pops off to Johnson and ACU.
Yeah, good crash in the boards there. Rice was just trying to save it in, but found McCants.
That's the best three-point shooter this year for ACU. That was Dominic Gonzalez, who was off the mark. And the ball is back to the Aggies as it goes out of bounds on the sideline.
Yeah, you look at Dominic Gonzalez, 54% from behind the arc in 5 games.
That's impressive.
I think I'd yell at him if he took a 2 with that percentage.
15 of his 23 made field goals have been 3, so the Aggies know that for sure on the scouting report. Mid-post extended, good matchup here. McCants and Wilson. Pump fake and a drive for Tillman. Wide open corner 3 for Jabari Rice is no good. Donnie Tillman, second chance opportunity. Bodies collide and we get a jump ball. Possession goes the way of the Firestorm.
Yeah, Tillman showed great body control on that drive. I didn't see who it was, but there was a Firestorm player there ready to take that charge, and he stopped on a dime, 2 feet, playing off 2 feet instead of 1 feet. You'll hear coaches talk about that all the time, and that's exactly why you do it. He avoided the charge and kept the play alive.
Aggies 2, ACU 2. 17:20 left here in the first half in Glendale. Gonzalez picks up his dribble. Wilson can shoot threes. That's his 10th try this year. And he is 7 of 10 for a 6'9" big fella.
Yeah, good penetration and dish back to the big guy, and his defender was just a little too late coming back out on him.
Rice with a finger roll. They're going to wave it off. That's offensive on Jabari.
Boy, I'd love to see it. It looked like he went to the right and got around him. I thought that was a bit of a flop there, but we'll take a look here and see if he did. Huh? I thought it was a pretty good play by Jabari. That should have counted. Little movement there on the feet, but it goes as a charge. I like the aggressiveness, though, of New Mexico State, going right at the hoop.
That was the first on Rice, and C.J. Roberts comes in off the Aggie bench, a newcomer from North Richland Hills, Texas, transfer from Ranger JUCO. Played for Billy Gillespie there.
Yeah, this pressure by the Aggies causing a little bit of trouble for the Firestorm to get into their rhythm.
Great hands for McCants, and he pokes it off the foot of Aaron Gideon. That's great defense by a big man who was able to rotate out to the arc.
Yeah, you called it, Adam. I mean, they have not seen this type of pressure, D, and just loose with the basketball, number 24, Aaron Gideon.
The Aggies bring in Wilfred Lakai. He replaces Johnny McCants. Wilfred, not technically a newcomer. He was here a year ago, but he missed the entire season because of a torn meniscus and a torn LCL. So this is the first game as an Aggie for Wilfred Lakai, number 22 in black, and here's his first touch. Henry to Tillman, launches from 3. Henry the offensive rebound. The Aggies a little cold early from the field. Lakai will trigger. He splashes it through.
Well, there's a few new guys for the Aggies that aren't really new guys, but they've just been missing basketball for over a year with those injuries. Henry, one of them, too, and they're expecting big things out of both those guys.
Right around this time last year, we were talking about all the injuries the Aggies had with Lakai and Henry and Harris, and the silver lining in that is now you have Lakai for 2 years and you have Henry for a 5th year. C.J. Roberts tosses out wide open Clayton Henry. Welcome back. Only played in 1 game a year ago. This is just his 2nd game since March 21st, 2019.
Yeah, and he was 2 for 4 from behind the arc in that game, and that's why right there. Beautiful looking shot. Didn't hesitate either. No hesitation. Got the ball in his spot and drained it.
The Aggies ahead by 3. Johnson tossed it over his shoulder. Floor burn for Henry. Numbers for the Aggies. Gilliard, he got it.
Not wasting any time. Just a pull-up dagger right there and going to make him call a timeout.
That's a timeout from Jeff Rudder, the 9th-year head coach for the Firestorm. It will turn into a media. Now the Aggies are heating up. 11-5 Aggies, 5 minutes in Glendale. Aggies coming off a 25-win campaign. So are the Firestorm, and there's a couple of winning streaks involved here, Michael. The Aggies have won 19 straight games dating back to last season, while the Firestorm have won 8 straight dating back to last season. Those are some impressive winning streaks going into tonight.
Yeah, the Firestorm, as you mentioned, in top 10 in the country. They like to get the ball up and down the floor, and they've got a historically great coach here. 9th season for Jeff Rutland, and he's been doing a fantastic job with this. And this is a game, they've been excited to play. I know we had to postpone it, but they've been excited to play and test themselves against a top D1 opponent like New Mexico State.
Firestorm in his zone defense. The Aggies brought in Will McNair during the timeout for the first time. Big man out of Philly. High-low feed to Lakai. Good find by McNair.
Yeah, great pass. The guy was calling for it. He almost missed him, but just too big to miss down there, and a good entry pass.
The Aggies 13, Firestorm 5. Nearly 6 minutes in. Half one here in Glendale.
Yeah, they handled that zone really well right out of the timeout.
This is Deron Kyle, who averages 21 per game. And you can imagine in this game where you're playing a D1, Michael, it's probably this case for everybody for ACU, but especially for Kyle. You're trying to prove yourself against a D1 opponent.
Yeah, coming off 31 points, career high, 8 made threes against Florida National in Miami. The last two games played great against them. And yeah, this is what you look forward to when you're a D2 or an NAIA, right? You circle this on the schedule.
Evan Gilliard missed that one shallow. McNair was trying to chase it down. It goes back to ACU. Arizona Christian, top 10 at the NAIA level, ranked 9th. The Aggies with tons of expectations this year, and of course, it has not been an easy road with the restrictions in the state of New Mexico, forcing the Aggies to relocate for now to Phoenix. C.J. Roberts a little bit out of control, and he throws it away. Yeah,
another great jump of the passing lane by Gilliard. He got kind of lost down there amongst the trees, the little guy, and New Mexico State doing a good job of that, pressuring the ball defensively and making Arizona Christian make some errant passes here early.
The Aggies ahead by 8. 13:30 left in the first half. First game of the season for the Aggies. First game since Monday for ACU when they were in Miami, Florida. Kyle will launch. That's short. Rice is in the corner with 2 ACU players, and he tosses out for Jason King, a JUCO transfer from Sneed State. Extra pass for Wilfred Lakai, and his 3 is shallow. Wiped off the window by Xavier Cooper.
Well, Kyle got his first shot, but had to make it himself. I don't see him really running any plays specifically to get Kyle shots here.
And the jumper is good. That's Jamel Cleveland, big senior, 6'11", 260, seldom used for head coach Jeff Rudder.
Yeah, wide open there at the right elbow, a little 15-footer, and made it look easy.
Rice, good body control, and he banks it in. He's improved his game so much from 2 years ago, Michael.
Yeah, everybody that's watching this game scouting for the WAC is not happy that you just said that, because he was a handful last year.
Another 3 for Kyle. This one he hits right over Jason King, who is in his face.
Yeah, quick trigger, too. Caught, released, and elevated, and you can see why he's coming off a 31-point game. Aggies did a good job stopping Kyle through that first media timeout.
Spin move for McNair, tosses for Lakai, and Wilfred Lakai was out of bounds. And this will take us to a media. First game of the season for Christian and the Aggies. They have relocated for now to Phoenix. They're in Glendale tonight, starting a new campaign against Arizona Christian. Wilfred Lakai leads the Aggies off the bench. He has 5, and the Aggies lead by a handful on the road against Arizona Christian. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by the New Mexico State Alumni Association. Giving Tuesday is December 1st, and the Alumni Association invites alumni and friends to join them online at support.nmsu.edu. Your gift to the area that matters the most to you makes a difference for the students. A little sluggish at times so far, Michael, on both ends, which is probably expected for the Aggies. Keep in mind, they did not have a scrimmage against anybody else. They did not play an exhibition game. This is truly their first game of the season.
Yeah, and this is what's keeping them in it right here, this really smothering defense, not letting Arizona Christian get into any sort of transition offense or any offense, really, jumping the passing lanes, and Rice with a nice steal there.
Rice, McCants, Jason King, Donnie Tillman, and Henry for the Aggies with the ball in the black on the road. And once again, this serves as an exhibition game for ACU. So this will not count towards their record, which is currently 5-0. Donnie Tillman has been aggressive early, the transfer from UNLV. 5 to shoot for Jason King. King to a streaking McCants, and he traveled with it. Took a big old step.
Yeah, it was a great find on the pass and on the penetration. Unfortunately, the travel. by McCants. I did notice when Lakai came out of the game, Jans wasn't happy with the shot selection down there, so he put him back on the bench after that. But he's been a guy that you can see why they're excited about him this year, Wilfred Lakai.
When you talk about the Aggies, you typically talk about depth. Timeout was called by Arizona Christian, and this year, at least to start, the Aggies don't really have a ton of depth. They have a couple transfers, Michael, Mayan Kier and also Marcus Watson, who are not eligible yet. They have Kalen Williams, who's out with a foot injury. So the depth that Christians usually can play with, he does not have to start.
Yeah, it will be interesting because, as you mentioned, especially last season, he would play 9-10 guys. And I was really impressed with his coaching because it's hard to keep guys interested in playing when they're not getting their 25, 28, 31 minutes. And most guys weren't. And so Jans did a great job of keeping guys interested and excited and keeping them focused on team. This year, though, you're right. After that starting 5, starting 6, he's kind of looking for who's going to be the guy off the bench that he can trust.
83 wins in 3 years for Chris Jans, now in his 4th year, and he has done a marvelous job in the Crimson and White. He's looking for his 264th career win as a collegiate head coach. Step back 3, tough shot for Duran Kyle. That spins off, and McCants is able to grab it out of the hands of Jamel Cleveland. And Johnny can handle the basketball as well, so he brings the Aggies out of the backcourt.
So point forward action there for Johnny McCants.
Rice with it, tosses down low. Tillman inside outside for Clayton Henry. Rebound on the backside for Cleveland.
Well, Kyle missed that shot, but he's definitely looking more for a shot than he did the first 5 minutes of this ball game.
And if ACU wants to hang around, Duran Kyle has to play well. He averages 21 a game. Cooper runs over C.J. Roberts. The Aggies love to draw charges, and Roberts is one of the newcomers, and he is in on the act right away.
So Chris Jans might not be real happy with how the offense is working right now, but you can kind of expect that, right? It's going to take some time. The effort on defense, though, has been impressive.
The Aggies a year ago only allowed 60 points per game, and that's where they've won championships in the WAC, is through their defense. Their offense hasn't always been great, but their defense typically is. The Aggies swinging around for Henry, popping out is Tillman. Rice down low, Johnny McCants working on a Robbie Wilson. It was partially blocked, and then grabbed by Cooper for the Firestorm. Wilson, the big man, rumbling down the floor, and he's stripped away by Jabari Rice. Here come the Aggies again. Hard of the rim is Clayton Henry, and he flips it home.
More of the pace ACU wants, but New Mexico State beating them at their own game, and it was a strip down there by Rice that led to the easy bucket for Henry.
Henry has 5 in a starting role tonight for the Aggies. They lead by 7. And stepping out of bounds was Angelo Johnson. He thought, I think, that he was fouled, and he found a wet spot on the end line.
Yeah, lost his footing and just slipped right out of bounds. But 3 steals already for the Aggies in this one. Like I said, very aggressive defensively, and more than likely Arizona Christian hasn't played a team that's reaching in and has that quick hands on these drives and these interior passes.
The Aggies slowing down this high-powered Firestorm offense that averages 100 points per game. 3 is short for Henry, grabbed by Goudreau. Johnson's a good point guard for ACU. Transition 3 is no good for Goudreau. Here comes Tillman, down the lane, slams it in one-handed.
I did not think he had the hops to get. I thought it was going to be a finger roll, but Donnie proved me wrong. Impressive coast to coast.
Couple of 6'7" big men for the Aggies that can run the floor with the ball. McCants and Tillman. Air ball on the 3 for Cooper. It makes it a lot easier, Michael, when you have a big man who can get the miss, grab the rebound, and then just dribble himself into the front court.
Yeah, Tillman's going to be a force, especially once they get into conference play. We saw him out at when he was with Utah, out at the Wooden Legacy Classic a couple years ago, and really impressed with his game.
Mid-post extended McNair. Robbie Wilson checks him. Ball screen McNair. He pops out. He's shooting 3s nowadays, which he wasn't doing last year. Good move by Jabari Rice. That's an NBA move right there, posting up a fellow guard.
Yeah, and he made it look effortless, didn't he? It was like a walk in the park right there.
Rice averaged 13 a game a year ago. Wilson, his second three-point try, and he's 2 for 2. Robbie Wilson, 8 of 11 for the year from 3. Big Will McNair stuffs it home.
Well, McNair missed the defensive assignment on the other end, getting out to contest that three-point shot, but he made up for it by running the floor.
And Johnson connects on the other end. Junior from Melbourne, Florida, his 5th made 3 this year.
Well, this is more the game that ACU wants, even though they're trading buckets here. A little offensive.
Big dunks for Tillman and McNair. The Aggies starting to find their rhythm a little bit offensively with 7:31 left here in the first half in Glendale. Season opener for Christians and the Aggies. Adam Young and Michael Potter back with you here in Glendale, Arizona, the ACU Event Center, season opener for the Aggies, and this is technically an exhibition game for the Firestorm. They are 5-0, ranked 9th in the country at the NAIA level. Aggies shooting 47%, Firestorm at 40% for the field so far. Pull-up jumper for Angelo Johnson, and it's picked up by Donnie Tillman. Neither team has shot it great so far, but good enough for the Aggies. A fall-away jumper is shallow for Evan Gilliard. Snatched in by Johnson. No look pass to Wilson, and that one slips off for Robbie Wilson, who's made a couple threes in the early stages.
Clayton Henry now on Kyle, doing a great job of denying him the basketball. They're not even able to get it to number 5 for ACU.
Contested 3 for Tillman. Long rebound for Jabari Rice. Tillman is so versatile, he lost the handle. Scooped up by Johnson.
Great move, a little too fast for his own self, but boy, that was a great move, a great spin move there.
One of the things Christians loves about Donnie Tillman is he can play the 3, the 4, or the 5, multiple positions, and one for Deron Kyle, senior out of Phoenix, who last year was an honorable mention All-American at the NAIA level.
Well, that's what he needs to do. They're all over him, blanketing him, barely got that ball to him, and the take is going to maybe make the defender step back a bit as you see Henry just a little bit late getting there. Closing out, he expected Kyle to shoot that 3. Kyle took it to the rack.
This is a good matchup, too, for Deron Kyle, for him to see where he stands, because Clayton Henry, according to Christians, is the Aggies' best perimeter defender, and Christians raves about Henry's defensive abilities.
Well, you're not going to totally shut down Kyle, but the last 3 possessions, Henry's denied him the ball until that one right there. He's done a nice job on him.
Wilfred Lakai looking for his shot from the perimeter a ton in the first half. Gilliard to Lakai, and he traveled with him.
Yeah, and Jans was upset with Lakai when he brought him out the last time he was in for taking some of those outside shots, so might have stopped Lakai from pulling the trigger on that 3 because he was open for a 3 on the far side.
That is 8 turnovers already for Christians' team, and that is not the number he wants to be at. That's the number he wants to be at for the entire game, not the first half, and there's still 5:40 left.
Yeah, I mean, you and I can say, oh, you kind of expect that first game, getting the jitters. Coaches don't allow that talk.
Of course not.
It's unacceptable.
And as far as I know, all the Aggies did was they scrimmaged against each other and they brought in officials once. They, of course, did not have a scrimmage, like a secret scrimmage like in normal years you're able to have, or an exhibition game. But everybody in the country is in the same boat where once that ball rolls out for the first game, it's go time, and that's the first time you're doing it. Good job by Rice to grab the rebound around Cam Carson, who just checked in for ACU. Right back to Jabari, preseason player of the year in the WAC. Ball screened from McCants. Rice slithering around defenders. McCants will attack. 3 from the wing for Henry. Bottoms for Clayton Henry.
And that's what's setting up those outside shots. When they're just waiting for the ball and taking them, And moving the ball, it's not working as well. When a guy penetrates and dishes back, that's when they're getting those open shots. Good take by McCants to penetrate, draw the defense in a bit.
Henry heavily involved early. This is Wilson, his third three-point try. That one was an air ball, then a foul is called underneath on Evan Gilliard. That's an intriguing matchup, too. You have Evan Gilliard, who is 5'10" listed, ultra quick, against Angelo Johnson, number 1 right there, in yellow, who is listed 5'8". Two smaller left-handed guards who can really, really move.
Yeah, there's been some really intriguing matchups here. Henry and Kyle, you got those two guys there. And then, of course, they've been trying to find somebody to guard Robbie Wilson and not give him those open threes on penetration. McCants trying to get out there last time and ran into his own man. There you go. You just mentioned it. Quick, right on the baseline drive.
Heck of a move for Johnson, junior from Melbourne, Florida, a transfer from the College of Central Florida. And the Firestorm are within a handful again, 26-21. McCants, good positioning for Johnny McCants, working right around Jamel Cleveland.
And that's what you can do more of. Use that height and size advantage there. And a big man, Cleveland, but not the quickness to stay with Johnny McCants.
Pick and pop for Wilson. Thought about it, didn't take it. Shallow for Carson, cleared by McCants.
Great box out by McCants on Cleveland. Now Kyle all over Henry as well. Ooh!
Was swinging the elbows a little bit. Henry says he didn't do anything. Christians disagrees as well. 28-21 Aggies, 3:43 left, half one in Glendale. And that's coming up at halftime. Film Room with Christians, presented by Sonic Drive-In. Everybody loves a coach talking in a film room, right, Michael?
Absolutely, and those look like really comfortable chairs, too.
Very comfortable, yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to that. It's fun to talk to the coaches because they see the game so differently than anybody else. They're looking at different things typically than the fans or even us as broadcasters.
Kyle's three spins off. Wilson trying to grab it, scooped up by Jason King, and he's fouled by Robbie Wilson. And in the episode we're going to play at halftime, Christians is breaking down the most recent game for the Aggies, which was March 5th of last season against California Baptist, when the Aggies led by as many as 41. And they won by 33 to go 16-0 in the WAC and become the only team in the history of the conference to finish 16-0.
Yeah, that's coming off of 15-1.
Yep.
15 straight for that 15-1.
34 straight wins against WAC opponents overall for the Aggies, and we are still ways away from conference season. A lot to get to in non-conference play. Newcomer Jason King to a streaking Wilfred Lakai, who's been active early. And Wilfred will shoot his first two free throws as an Aggie.
Yeah, Lakai's going to be scary. I mean, 6'9", 210, moves well. We saw he has a pretty good outside shot as well. Going to be very versatile and give a nice look to the Aggies this year.
Talked to Coach Jans a couple months ago about Wilfred Lakai, and he said, I swear he's put on about 20, 25 pounds. We need to weigh him again. Maybe he grew again, but it looks like he put on some weight, and Zach Witherspoon, the strength coach, who's done a marvelous job here, has done a great job with Lakai and so many others. And Wilfred Lakai, a transfer from Casper College in Wyoming. He's from Portland.
Yeah, it still looks like he might be able to put on a little more weight, too.
Will McNair will come in for Lakai as the Aggie lead grows to 8.
Well, that's important, too, making those free throws, because they want him to be aggressive on those drives, crashing the boards. And so if he can make you pay at the free throw line, that's even better for the Aggies.
Aggie lead grows to 9 after the second made free throw for Lakai. So it's 30-21, under 3 left here in the opening half of the season opener for NM State.
Yeah, this is an important possession here. ACU does not want to let that get to a double-digit lead going into halftime.
This is unfamiliar territory for the Firestorm. They've been cruising to wins this year, plus 16 scoring margin. They average 100 per game. I know if you're the head coach, you don't want to give up 84 per game, but how they play so up-tempo and so fast that you're going to allow a lot of points playing that style.
Yeah, like you said, Jans wants to keep turnovers around 8 to 10 at the most. These guys are okay if they give 18 turnovers as long as they're getting up and down the court at that pace. Well, I say okay. No coach is really okay with it, but you get my point, right? Same thing as if you give up 84. Well, if you're scoring 100, you can live with it.
And if you asked any fan, what do you want to see? You want to see the team that averages 100 per game.
Absolutely.
That's more entertaining.
Absolutely.
Jabari Rice with a finger roll scoops it right over the defender. High arcing finger roll right over Aaron Gideon.
Yeah, once again, harder shot than it looks, and he makes it look pretty easy. Good elevation.
Dump off to Gonzalez. The assist from Angelo Johnson, who averages 8 helpers per game.
Well, you can see why Arizona Christian is in the top 10. I mean, they're very well coached. They always know where to be. They know where the other player on the team is going to be. You take away the 3 from them, which the Aggies have done pretty well. They're going to other things. They play hard defense, too. You notice that here. Hard man-to-man defense, go to the zone when they need it. Did it a little bit earlier in the game.
6 to shoot for McCants. Slings it out to C.J. Roberts. Dump off to McNair, and it's poked away. And the Firestorm can draw closer. They're within 8.
Yeah, we mentioned they didn't want to let this get into double digits. Now they're thinking, hey, can we get this into a 1 or 2 possession ball game?
They've played with no fear so far in their first game this season against a D1 foe. Skip out to Goudreau. High arcing 3 is way short. Tillman touched it. Goudreau saves it right to Duran Kyle. And he finds himself in front of the big man, 6'10", Will McNair, who had it ripped away.
Just lost sight
Johnson, a teardrop, spins off, and Roberts collects for the Aggies.
That'll drive a coach crazy. Hang on to the basketball. Finally, the Aggies do. Got to reach in.
Yeah, foul called on ACU before C.J. Roberts got to the rim, so he will shoot 1 and 1. With 55 seconds left. Goudreau, I don't think he had to save that there, Michael. I think it was last touched by Tillman initially.
Yeah, it was interesting, too. I don't think the Aggies thought he was going to save it because there were 2 guys just standing there when the ball went right in between them, right to the ACU player.
1 and 1 for C.J. Roberts out of Ranger JUCO most recently. An 80% free throw shooter in both of his years at the JUCO level. In partnership with the New Mexico State University Foundation, Aggie Athletics has created the Donate for State campaign. It allows Aggie fans to make a tax-deductible gift while assisting the basketball programs with costs associated with their relocation to Arizona. For more info or to donate, donateforstate.com. Already have raised $45,000 as Gonzalez connects from 3.
Chance for a 4-point play here. Closeout was late and a little too aggressive. You see it right here. Yeah, Tillman just couldn't stop.
And you know, too, Michael, that scouting report reads shooter for Dominic Gonzalez. That's what he does. He is a shooter from the arc, and that's what he's shown so far this year in 5+ games.
Yeah, just a freshman, too. Jeff Rutter in his 9th season as the head coach, also a VP at the school here. Has a great program going here.
Once again, that website is donateforstate.com. $45,000 already raised for the Aggies' relocation to Arizona for men's basketball and women's basketball. Donateforstate.com. Rice zigzags around defenders. Finger roll slips through for Jabari, who's had a good first half here in the opener.
And that's what you try to do when your team's scuffling and struggling. You can just take them on your shoulders for a couple of possessions. Second time we've seen Jabari cut through defenders and do a finger roll.
Expectations are higher this year for Jabari. Now he's the go-to guy, and he's living up to it here in the first half. Reverse layup for the left-hander Johnson with his right hand.
Was that the guy you said was really quick?
Very, very quick.
Good grief. Like a blur.
And he finished with the offhand, and Arizona Christian has to be extremely pleased with the first half they just played. And now there's some confusion on whether or not that will count. Right now the scoreboard still reads 35-28, but it would be 35-30 if the basket does count there for Angelo Johnson with the nifty finish to finish off the first half here at the ACU Event Center. Opener for the Aggies, game number 6, albeit an exhibition game for Arizona Christian. And Corey Barker, who has the scout for the Aggies, is joining us right now live on the air. CB, your thoughts on the first half? Arizona Christian played pretty well, didn't they?
Oh, no, they're a really good ball club. We knew coming in, average 100 points a game. They can really score really fast, as you see. I mean, we respected them, and we knew what they could do.
CB, what kind of second half adjustments do you guys have to make in order to pull this one out?
I mean, first of all, we have to check out. I mean, we're not checking out. We're not getting on the glass like we need to, and stop turning the ball over. So check out, stop turning the ball over.
Coach, we appreciate your time.
Okay.
That's Aggie assistant coach Corey Barker. It's his scout tonight in the season opener for the Aggies. The Aggies lead. They do count the basket. It's 35-30. Aggies at the half. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by White Sands Federal Credit Union. Find them online at WSFCU.org. Halftime comes your way next from Glendale. This is Aggie basketball. 19 straight wins dating back to last season for NM State. The longest active win streak around the country is 20. That's Dayton. And the Flyers do not play their opener until this coming week. So the Aggies can match the Flyers of Dayton for the longest active win streak around the country if they hang on here tonight in Glendale. So glad you have joined us. Adam Young, Michael Potter, and Wilfred Lakai gets a second half start.
Yeah, Lakai in there instead of Tillman.
Inside outside for Henry. Too strong on the three, and it's tracked down by Darius Goudon.
Yeah, good look for Henry. He's done a really good job defensively on Kyle. You wonder how much that's going to take out of him. First game action of the season. First time for him in 2 seasons, really.
Long three contested for Kyle, probably ill-advised. And the shortest player on the floor for the Aggies, Gilliard, grabs the rebound.
Yeah, and you're okay with him taking threes out that far as long as you got a man in his face, because he can't hit him from there.
Pull-up jumper for Evan Gilliard is short. In the hands of Rice, he has Henry. He finds him back door, and one for Henry, who's in double figures now with a team-high 10.
That was Jabari Rice. I mean, what a great rebound staying with it. He looks so comfortable. Look at him right here. He just holds the ball up, waits, finds his man, delivers it perfectly.
That's veteran patience from Jabari Rice. I think 2 years ago, Michael, he probably rushes that.
Yeah, he looks like he's in kind of that zone. He did the last half of last year, too, where the game's just slowing down for him. It's speeding up for everybody else, but it's slowing down for him.
Game high 11 for Henry, who only played in 1 game a year ago. Missed the rest of the season with a pair of separate hand injuries. Johnson and Gilliard just going back and forth. That's a fun matchup to watch.
Yeah, and I think that might have been part of the message from Rudder in the locker room was, hey, you might be our best chance of offense driving to the basket. You can score there, or you can also look to kick it to a three-point shooter, but we want you to be aggressive and take it to the defender.
That was foul number 3 on Gilliard, so backup point guard C.J. Roberts comes in for him. Contested jumper for Kyle, who's maybe pushing the cause a bit too much early on in half 2.
Yeah, they need to go back to Robbie Wilson. He's been doing a good job pulling his big man out deep and getting open for threes. Did it early in the first half, but didn't see it too much toward the end there.
Ball will stay with the Aggies. C.J. Roberts will run the point, number 0 in black. Former top 100 recruit out of Texas, out of the Fort Worth area in North Richland Hills, was at 2 JUCOs. Broward and also Ranger. Played for Billy Gillespie last year at Ranger. Billy Gillespie now in the WAC as the head coach at Tarleton State.
Ooh, not sure where he's throwing that ball. Right to Kyle.
Rice gets the steal, though. Bounces it low to McCants. Kick out for Clayton Henry. Put back for Rice is no good, but he was knocked down to the hardwood. I think he was hit on the back of his head. And there should be a shooting foul. It will be for Jabari Rice. Interesting note on Jabari, and I found this fascinating when Christian said this last year. He said, I believe Jabari Rice can be just as good of a rebounder as Jamario Jones, who a couple years ago was second in the country, Michael, in rebounding. He thinks Jabari Rice has that kind of capability on the glass.
Well, that's pretty incredible because Jamario Jones could get a rebound from anywhere on the court. I mean, he could read the shots well and the kicks, but he just gave more effort than anybody else going for the ball. So that's high praise, and it's probably a little bit of Jan's wanting to get that word to get back to Jabari and challenge him a little bit there too, because Jabari has said himself, when people tell him he can't do something, it ticks him off.
He wants to be great, that's for sure. Aggie lead is up to 10. Johnson's had a great game. High rebound for McKeons, who led the Aggies in rebounding a year ago with 6 per game. Rice attacks again. Now he stays patient. And he's directing traffic out there for the Aggie offense.
Yeah, the offense has been rolling through Jabari in the second half. It's been good to see. I mean, that's what you need your best player to do. Team's scuffling a bit, and he needs to step up.
Jump hook pinballs off for McKeons. There's Wilfred Lakai, who's active on the glass. Right back to him. Feed the big fella. Jabari Rice fed him. Lakai with the off left hand.
Yeah, and it was on that rebound. Rice got a hand in there, kept it alive, and then delivered the pinpoint pass to Lakai.
Wilfred Lakai has 9 in his Aggie debut. Deron Kyle able to bank it in. The Aggies going with McCants, Roberts, Henry, Lakai, and Rice. McCants with the nifty footwork, and a late foul is called on Robbie Wilson. And the big man from Tucson and a transfer from Pima, can't believe it.
There was a lot of contact. I was surprised the whistle didn't come earlier, but it was kind of one of those where Aaron Schlesinger, like right here, you could have called it, and then he leans right in and right there. That's a foul. But I think Schlesinger was going to let it go if the ball had gone through, but he decided to make the call. Sometimes refs do that. They won't admit it, but sometimes they do that.
This will be interesting to follow this year if Johnny McCants can improve even more on his free throw shooting as Jason King comes in for Henry. 37% in year 1, 51% year 2, 54% last year, and he splits the pair here. So he's improved every year. He was a 37% free throw shooter his freshman year.
So now with Henry out, Rice gets to guard Kyle.
There's the sharpshooter again, Dominic Gonzalez, who dominates from the perimeter.
Yeah, they're putting their best defender on Kyle, and so Arizona Christian finding that, trying to find the other guys.
Jason King from the elbow. Deron Kyle picks it up for ACU. Johnson just stuttering around defenders. You blink and he's gone. He'll shoot a 3 over McCants. Wilson tips it. He was looking for his teammate Goudeau, and he tips it into his bench area.
So now Tillman coming back in here. He got the start in the game, but didn't get the start in the second half.
Which is interesting, too, because Chris Jans has said the last couple of weeks, he said this was the easiest starting lineup for him to make in his time as a head coach. Usually, you don't really know until maybe week of or even the opener. And he said, I've known for a while who my starters were going to be. And Wilfred Lakai played so well in the first half, he gets a start in half 2. Bounce pass to McNair. Good touch for the big man out of Philly. He has improved a ton in his time with the Aggies. Jason King trying to rip it away. That's a jump ball. And possession will stay with Arizona Christian. And this will take us to break. It was a 5-point Aggie lead at the break. The lead has grown to 10. Rice playing well, Lakai playing well, Henry playing well. Season opener from Arizona. New Mexico State University, be bold, shape the future. juggling a number of things. He also works. He does it all. Bryce Rewalt, the current walk-on, former manager, former marketing intern. We'll see if Bryce gets some action tonight during the course of the game. Aggies ahead by 10 right now. Looks like jump ball was the call on the floor. And if that's the case, possession points to the Aggies, and indeed it is.
Well, the Aggies wanted to focus on rebounding and limiting the turnovers. In that first 4-minute, 10-second stretch, they out-rebounded Arizona Christian 7-3 and only had one turnover. So message probably pounded home pretty significantly in the locker room, received.
I'd imagine that the only thing that was being talked about in the locker room was turnovers. We have 11. We cannot do that again.
We will not do that again. There he is again.
He's all over the place on the glass. Picked up by Gonzalez. Jabari Rice unofficially 7 rebounds so far. Wilson can really, really shoot it, and the big man from Tucson has connected 3 times from distance.
Well, he's averaging a double-double, just under 20 points a game and 11 boards, and I'd like to see him, if you're an ACU guy, shoot a little bit more.
Wilson came into the game 6 of 9 on trays for the year. And a foul is called way out on the arc. It's for reaching in on Gonzalez.
And it was Kyle arguing with the official for his buddy there. Looks like he just reaching a little hand check there. Yeah, Kyle arguing on behalf of Gonzalez, and his bench said, "Hey, Deron, just play."
The veteran trying to help out the freshman there. Tillman 1-on-1. He needs to attack here. He will. On the low block. Power move for the redshirt senior. He missed it. Another rebound. That's Jamario Jones-esque for Jabari Rice.
I was thinking the same thing. Came out of nowhere, split the defenders, and just elevated to grab that rebound.
Skip out to Cooper. He's on the move. He was met at the rim by McNair.
Yeah, good aggressive take.
And I think what Chris Jans would say to Will right there is just stay straight up. You're 6'10". You have a long reach. No need to jump into him. He's improved a ton, though, and Chris Jans has raved about where Will McNair is today compared to Will McNair 2 years ago. He said it's gradual. Some days are better than others, but he's certainly improved a ton as Cooper misses the first free throw.
Yeah, late getting there, too. He had his feet in that restricted arc, so it wasn't going to go good. But you're right. You don't have to jump up and challenge that. Guy's got a full head of steam. If you can get out in front of that arc in time, just take the charge or just stay straight up. Make him shoot over you.
Lead is single digits. Nearly 6 minutes into half 2. Season opener for the Aggies. Arizona Christian 5-0. Already game number 6 for them. Top 10 in the country at the NAIA level. Jabari Rice has that one pinball off. Johnson finds Wilson, NBA range, and then some for the 6'9" big man.
Twice now, trailing the play. They find him, and you wouldn't expect anybody to get out and guard him that far away, but he drains it.
Offensive are C.J. Roberts on the baseline.
I think that on Roberts or on Tillman on the screen. Yep, you're right, Roberts. Wow.
Yeah, that's a good call right there. A little bit of a stiff arm against Johnson, and credit Johnson for being in a good position.
Yeah, quick to get back there. And so you got Roberts now with, a couple of fouls, and you got Gilliard on the bench now with those 3.
Need to get out on Wilson, who has shown range well beyond the three-point line.
Get a walk,
and it's a traveling violation on Cleveland. When you watch Robbie Wilson's game, he's 6'9", he can step out and he can shoot it. If he wants to play internationally, he'd probably be a pretty good fit. Donnie Tillman has it spin off, but he will shoot 2 free throws.
And that's where Tillman was his best in that first half. Just that streaking to the rim and challenging guys. He's got a good enough body. He can take that from a big man and still get that shot off. Almost an and one. Yeah, Wilson's a good-looking player. You mentioned it. 6'9", 225, moves well. Not your typical center or even really maybe power forward, but a really good touch from distance.
That man has to be happy. Ninth-year head coach Jeff Rutter. It's a two-possession game. Tillman splits the pair. Now he's 3 of 4 in the night from the line. Transfer from UNLV, the former 6th man of the year in the Pac-12 while at Utah.
Yeah, Rutter was the AD as he was building this program. Now he's moved over. He's a vice president with the ACU. They've got a lot of big plans here, a lot of buildings. I think 5 new buildings coming up.
And there's a lot of dirt all around campus as they prepare to start building different facilities. Wilson showing off the jump hook. Outside, inside. Robbie Wilson doing it all.
All right, he heard me. I said he wasn't the quintessential big man inside. He said, oh, I can do that too.
He's a transfer from Pima Community College, and as Michael mentioned earlier, he averages a double-double, 20 and 11 per game. McNair throws it away. Stolen by Cooper, no numbers though. He'll surge inside, blocked away by Will McNair, and it will stay with the Firestorm.
Well, that's the cardinal sin for the big man, right? You're 6'10", and you catch the ball inside and you put it on the floor. And then all of a sudden, height doesn't matter at that stage. But he comes back and somewhat redeems himself with that block.
Johnson will enter for Goudreau. This is Cleveland. Wing entry stolen by Rice, but then he couldn't quite snatch it. And they're going to say it was touched by ACU.
Wow.
Rice is fired up, and Johnson and the other ACU players couldn't believe it.
Yeah, Randy Richardson didn't hesitate. He's gonna ask and see if anybody else saw something different. But typically, if an official had a better view, they'll run in and let him know, hey, you were blocked, I saw something.
And they also wanted to make sure what the shot clock was going to be at as well. So you get the shot clock to 20. Game clock is at 12:14. It's a 4-point game. The Aggies 25 wins last year, currently riding a 19-game win streak dating back to last year. Second longest active win streak at D1. McCants was trying to dunk it appeared. He had it slapped away from behind. And then we get a tie-up.
Johnson wasn't happy with that, but they slap hands. Everybody's cool now. Oh, they called a foul. Foul on Johnny, huh?
Indeed it is. That's the second personal.
Rutter wanted the immediate timeout. He didn't want to burn a timeout. Wants to set up a play here.
2 now are Johnny McCants. It's Firestorm ball, trailing by only 4, 8 minutes in, half 2. Tonight's game in Glendale is brought to you in part by the New Mexico State Alumni Association. Giving Tuesday is December 1st, and the Alumni Association invites alumni and friends to join them online at support.nmsu.edu. Your gift to the area that matters the most to you makes a difference for the students. Adam Young with Michael Potter. It's a 4-point ball game here at the ACU Events Center.
Yeah, the Aggies only 3 points since that last media timeout. Got to get some offense going here.
A deep three for Deron Kyle. He's now in double figures with 11. And the Firestorm have now connected on 4 threes in the half.
And Gilliard's still out with those 3 fouls.
McCants back out for Henry. He's been big tonight. Bodies flying everywhere down low.
Oh, we got a bucket good and a foul?
Wow. The Aggies might keep the ball in addition to the made 3 from Henry.
I mean, that was a huge shot by Henry. Had to answer. You missed there. And an ACU rebound.
So the basket is good for Henry. He now has a team-high 14, which also matches him for game-high honors, and the foul is on Kyle, his third Aggie ball, and this could be a game-changing swing right here, Michael.
Yeah, this could be huge. They need to get a bucket here, obviously, but it could be huge. They go right to Jabari. Oh, missed it.
Tip in, though, for Henry. He's fired up. He has 16 in his return.
What a great inbound play. They lost Jabari coming through. He's upset he missed it, but Henry cleaned it up.
3 for Johnson. He can't answer. Long rebound is corralled by C.J. Roberts for the Aggies. Donnie Tillman on the move. That one pinballs off.
Love Tillman when he's on the move, just like you mentioned. So aggressive and so strong you can't really stop him. But here's that play before. Great inbound in the miss, but there's Henry.
And he is letting out, Michael, all the emotion that he has building up from how last year went for him. He played in one game. Imagine that. 2 separate hand injuries. He only played in one game in what was supposed to be his senior season.
Yeah, you can tell he's excited to be back out there. And you can tell, I mean, Mexico State had a great year last year. But could you imagine if he had been able to play too? I mean, you can tell how important he is to this program and to this team. And they're going to rely on him this year. You mentioned before, not quite as deep as typical in a Chris Jantz team. But, boy, getting Henry back, that's like getting a 5-star recruit coming in.
And that was a huge swing. Arizona Christian was within 1. Now they trailed by 8. Aggies rolling out Roberts, Tillman, McCants, Rice, and Henry. Roberts got in the way. He was plowed over, and he's called for the foul. He kind of got run into, but he was in the way a bit, so that's why they call the defensive foul on C.J. Roberts, number 2 on the JUCO transfer from Ranger JUCO.
Yeah, just trying to get out of the way, but not quick enough. Great start out of the timeout, though. We mentioned only 3 points between the last media timeout. They came out serious out of this last media timeout, though.
Aggressive move there for Xavier Cooper, junior from Denver, Colorado. And this will take him to the free throw line for 2. I think a little bit of a mixed bag for Chris Jantz here tonight. Of course, you don't want the score to be this close. But he's also learning a lot about his team tonight in their first game of the season. Clayton Henry's played well. Jabari Rice has maybe taken his game to even another level. And this was the previous foul on Johnny McCants. That was number 3 on Johnny, so he has to take a seat, and Wilfred Lakai comes back in for him.
Yeah, just a reach-in. Great take by Cooper. Got around his man, and Johnny not moving the feet, just reaching. That's always going to spell trouble for you. Well, and Gilliard back in the game as well. After he picked up his 3rd foul, he set out quite a bit.
Yeah, 3 on Gilliard, 3 on McCants for the Aggies. Rice, a skip out for Lakai. He's not shy one bit from the arc. There's Rice again. He is playing like Jamario Jones tonight in so many ways. And just like Jamario, he's 6'4". He's not really thick. He's put on a lot of weight since he's been here, but he just has a knack for being in a good spot and being relentless on trying to grab that rebound.
Yeah, that time he just elevated and was able to take it right back up.
2 more for Henry. 18 for Clayton Henry.
Yeah, he's heating up. He's looking a lot more comfortable. I mean, he had 8 in the first half, so it's not like he was a slouch in the first half, but he looks a lot more comfortable out there in the flow of the offense.
A near steal on the wing for Gilliard. Johnson circling around in the corner. He only has 8 to shoot. Long range, Darius Goudon.
Oh.
And it's off the foot of Tillman with 2 on the timer. By the way, that is a new career high for Clayton Henry. Previous career high, 14. Did it twice, last against Grand Canyon in the conference tournament in 2019.
They put 20 back on the clock there.
And the floater is good for Johnson.
Well, his first points in the second half, I think, right, come with 9:22. So they kept him bottled up this first part of the second half.
Under 10 to shoot. Rice has it on the wing. Doesn't use the ball screen from Tillman. He'll do it himself. Flip shot, no good. No numbers for ACU. They'll hurry anyway. Transition triple is good for Angelo Johnson.
Yeah, they love that transition three, either hitting the trailer or just right there. I mean, Jeff Rudder doesn't mind firing up a bunch of threes, and they're right back in this thing.
Two ball screens for Gilliard. To a streaking Lakai. Gets his own miss. Ducks underneath the defender. Missed the jump hook. Steal for Rice. When you need a big play, find Jabari. Johnson strips it off his leg. Great defense for the pesky ACU point guard, Angelo Johnson.
Yeah, just gave ground, and reached in when he got a shot and off of Jabari's leg. But great steal by Jabari out top. He's doing everything here tonight. Really impressive outing for Jabari.
Trying to will his team to a win.
Yeah, he is. He's getting a breather here.
And remember, Arizona Christian 5-0, ranked 9th in the country at the NAIA level. They average 100 points per game. They have 54 right now. It's a one-possession game. Johnson's had the hot hand for the Firestorm in so many aspects, continuation and one.
Well, nobody able to keep up with him. You mentioned it, Adam, just so quick and got Gilliard on his hip. Gave him a little elbow to almost create the contact, but got the call and chance to tie it up.
Fourth foul on Evan Gilliard and a free throw when we come back from break for Angelo Johnson as he will try to tie it in Glendale. 7:57 left at the ACU Event Center. And we are tied with 7:57 left. Cleveland comes in. 4 personals for Deron Kyle for the ACU, 4 for Evan Gilliard for NM State.
Yeah, and Johnson goes out. I mean, he scored the last 8 points. We were just talking about the need to keep him quiet. They did for 10 minutes, and then he just erupted.
Backdoor to Henry. He has 18, and he will try to add to it at the charity line.
Well, we've already seen Chris Jans out of timeouts, inbound plays, drop a couple of really nice plays. That was a great initial play to drop that backdoor cut to Henry, who's having a great game, offensively and defensively.
Chris Jans always so good at drawing up plays out of timeouts. Sure, it's up to the players to execute, but that goes back to practice time, and the Aggies haven't had a whole lot of practice time leading up to this game. They've been in Phoenix now for 12 days, 10 days of practice. Had a team scrimmage last weekend. Trying to build a schedule as they go. The opener tonight in Glendale against ACU. Good high hedge there for Donnie Tillman. Right back to Dominic Gonzalez. Lakai there for the high hedge.
Yeah, and this is the offense, and this is the defense that can go against this offense without Johnson in the ballgame. I would expect him to be back pretty quick.
Off the knee of Lakai. It will stay with ACU with 1 on the timer.
Yeah, and here comes Johnson.
Get the quickness out there, right?
Well, yeah, they just could not get into any type of rhythm there because New Mexico State was all over the ball and nobody could get around the defender. The passes weren't working.
1 to shoot for Johnson. He heaves
Oh,
and
my
he
goodness.
made it.
Oh, my goodness.
The transfer for the College of Central Florida. He has 20. C.J. Roberts with the left hand.
Great move by Roberts to answer. But Johnson has basically just taken over this game for ACU.
Johnson flirted with a triple-double the last time out on Monday against Florida National. His pass is deflected, picked up by Cooper. Deflected again, and it's taken in the corner by Lakai.
Yeah,
push ahead for Tillman. Good catch by the big man. Fakes the pass, ducks underneath, and had it pinball off.
Yeah, got to finish that one. Great move inside. They found him streaking down the side, got it to him, but just couldn't finish. Cross-court passes are dangerous.
Floater is no good for Gonzalez. Cleared on the backside by Lakai. This is a big possession right here for the Aggies as they try to grow their 1-point lead. Here's Roberts again. 4 in the recent minute for the JUCO transfer from Ranger.
You had the mismatch with Cooper on him, and nobody rotated over to help. It was almost just like an Olay, and you can have it all the way to the basket.
Good to see for Robbie Wilson.
Sorry about that, Adam. Good to see Roberts do that because he hasn't done much offensively in this game.
Johnson and one. He's going back and forth with C.J. Roberts right now.
This team, vastly different. Jekyll and Hyde. When you have Roberts in running the point, Johnson, and you don't have Johnson in.
Yeah, I think you could tell here tonight, Michael, that Johnson's the engine. That kind of makes this team roll with Wilson and Kyle as big-time scorers, but Johnson makes them roll offensively. Evan Gilliard on the bench with 4 personal. C.J. Roberts in at the point for the Aggies. Career high tonight for Henry. He has 18. They go to McCants. Roberts for 3. 7 in the previous minute plus for C.J. Roberts.
Yeah, I don't think he likes the way Johnson's been abusing him on the other end. Roberts is coming back himself.
Roberts shot 41% from 3 last year at Ranger JUCO. Aggies by 3. NM State ahead by 3. 5:26 left in half 2. It's been a close game tonight. The Aggies led 35-30 at the break, and ACU's hanging around here at the ACU Event Center. Adam Young with Michael Potter. C.J. Roberts, who's defending Angelo Johnson right now, has scored 7 for the Aggies in the previous minute plus to really boost this offense.
Yeah, we thought the battle would be Johnson against Gilliard, but it's proven to be Johnson against Roberts here down the stretch.
There's Roberts checking Johnson. Driving a pitch out to Gonzalez, and we are tied. Dominic Gonzalez, 3 of 4 from distance.
And that's all Angelo Johnson. The drive, the defender had to hedge a step. Plenty of room for Gonzalez to get the shot off.
Assist number 6 for Johnson. Drop step and a miss up close again for Donnie Tillman, who's missed a couple right there.
Yeah, and he's talking to himself. He's got to finish those. Went up strong, nobody in his path.
Rice defending Gonzalez here. Here's Johnson defended by Roberts. 10 to shoot for ACU. Mid-post extended. Double team came. Penetration again for Johnson, and he heads back to the free throw line, where he's already 3 of 4 tonight.
New Mexico State rotated out well after they threw that pass down to the block to Wilson, and then Roberts heads down. Jabari came after him, but Johnson's just so quick. Not a lot of body contact, but just enough to get the foul.
Johnson averages 13 points per game, 6.5 rebounds per game for a 5'8 guard, and a team best 8 assists per game. So he has flirted with triple doubles this year. 6 helpers tonight, 25 points in 33 minutes.
Got a lane violation there. Jabari and Wilson were making a little contact, and Jabari stepped in.
So Wilson and Rice kind of tangled up right there, and Johnson will get a second try at it. Biggest lead for the Aggies tonight, 12. Biggest lead for ACU, 3. They lead by 2. As Cleveland comes in, the big fella, comes in for Johnson. And like you said, Michael, they're a lot different when Angelo Johnson is not on the floor.
Yeah, and Johnson's going back there with the trainer. He might be cramping up a little bit or something. He looked like in a little pain. He did hit the floor hard down here too, Adam.
Rice finds Tillman, and he slams it home. We're tied.
No chance for that one to spin out. That's what Tillman needs to do when he gets the ball down inside. Yeah, Johnson getting some treatment. He hit the deck pretty hard down there. Hopefully he's okay, but missing some minutes here.
Foul is on C.J. Roberts. That is number 10 on the Aggies. So 2 free throws for ACU when we come back. Do not go anywhere. 3:43 left. Knotted at 68. Adam Young and Michael Potter back with you in Glendale. Big thanks to you for joining us tonight. Producer-director is Jason Moon. Technical director David Heil. Joe Pashley, our entire Floodstream Productions crew, as well as our Aggie Vision crew of Tim McDermott, Rita Rodriguez, and Alex Ramirez for their help on tonight's telecast. So glad you could join us. And bottom line, Michael, we didn't expect it would be like this. We knew ACU was a talented ball club for sure, but it's tied 68-68 with 3:43 left to go.
Yeah, definitely a lot closer than anybody expected. As you said, we knew they were good. You don't get to the top 10 NAIA without being, you don't score 100 points or average 100 points without being very good. New Mexico State just has to weather the rush of number 1, Angelo Johnson. And then offensively, just got to get the ball back into Jabari Rice's hands. We saw it the last couple of possessions. He's a difference maker. He can get the ball to the right people at the right times.
Second free throw for Dominic Gonzalez, and he puts the Firestorm ahead by a pair. Foul issues once again for Evan Gilliard. He has 4 personal, so it's been C.J. Roberts at the point for a good chunk of this half. Rice has scored 12. He's on the move here, finds Donnie Tillman again. Donnie Tillman able to bank it in. 4 in a row for the former UNLV running Rebel.
And that's what Rice does. The minute he got the ball, double teamed, Tillman crashes to the bucket and finishes this time.
Tillman now in double figures with 11. We approach 3 minutes left to go. It is crunch time here in Glendale. Gonzalez triggers a 3, thought he was hit. And now the Aggies can get the lead right back. They've led by as many as 12 tonight. Rice from the corner. Offensive rebound for Tillman. McCants will launch. And that one is shallow. And a foul is called in the backcourt on Jabari Rice. And for Jabari, that is number 3.
Yeah, not great sending Firestorm to the line. They've been shooting very well from the free throw stripe. They just shoot well from everywhere pretty much.
2 free throws the rest of the way for ACU on every single Aggie foul. And Gonzalez right back to the charity line. We're going to see Evan Gilliard re-enter. He has 4 personals. He comes in for C.J. Roberts. C.J.'s done a really, really good job in his first game as an Aggie.
I think Johnson's going to check back in, too, if Gonzalez makes his free throw.
Yep, he will. He was getting tended to during the timeout. You said cramp, and I think it was a cramp, Michael.
Looked like they were rolling out his hamstring there a little bit. He was getting, drink a couple cups of water over there, too.
Gilliard, Tillman, McCants, Rice, and Henry for the Aggies. High-low feed to Tillman. He finds an angle and one for DT.
Well, we said it. That's what Tillman can do for you. When he's aggressive down low, and he probably should have 4 more points because he had a couple spin out, but get it right to him and kind of wrap that hand around, got away with it a bit, but they've been able to take advantage of Jamal Cleveland down there too when he's in the ball game instead of Wilson on the big man down low.
Tillman, a 77% career free throw shooter from Detroit, Michigan. Spins off.
A lane violation? Or a foul? Yeah, lane violation, huh?
Yeah, that's on Robbie Wilson. He said that's bad. He did not agree with it.
Well, Jabari and he were fighting for it on the other end, and Jabari got called for lane violation, so turnabout's fair play here.
Tillman missed both. Still tied at 72. Strong move for Deron Kyle. If that was a charge, it would have been his 5th. It's a blocking foul. And Kyle will stay in the game. It's called on Johnny McCants.
I didn't see if he had his heels in there or not. Yeah,
yep,
he was
sure
standing
did.
in there. Looked like he was kind of sliding a bit. Looked like he might have got there in time, but had those heels in that restricted area.
That's the 4th on McCants. And one of the biggest issues here down the stretch so far, Michael, and we rarely say this about an Aggie team, is they're having issues getting stops on defense.
Yeah, I mean, ACU is quick. They're really fast, and they're really aggressive. Johnson, obviously, it takes quickness to a different level, but even, Kyle, Gonzalez, they're all pretty quick out there.
Only 11 tonight for Deron Kyle, and I say only because he averages 21 a game. He's led ACU in scoring in 3 of their first 5 games this year. Trying to give ACU the lead. He missed both. Those are 2 huge misses for the senior from Phoenix.
Yeah, shooting 79% in the first 6 games or 5 games.
Tillman again operates on the baseline. 2 more for Donnie Tillman. And right now is when you go to your veterans, and Tillman's a 5th-year senior.
So far, when Tillman's aggressive, he's good. When he's not lagging back a little bit, he's kind of mediocre. So his whole game is using that big body and being aggressive.
Tillman thought he was vertical.
Yeah, he was.
And they whistled that foul on him.
They say he moved the hip maybe, or because it looked like he was straight up and down. He's not buying it.
He certainly altered the shot of Deron Kyle because Kyle had to try to move around him.
Yeah.
And now Kyle's right back to the free throw line where he just missed 2 in a row, and he connects right there.
Well, one thing we didn't talk a lot about, Adam, and we did a little bit, Mexico State's been playing against each other, and this is game number 6. Mm-hmm. So as you get down to the stretch here, everybody will tell you there's a massive difference between practicing and playing games.
Sure.
Game shape is totally different.
A minute 48 left. Who thought we'd be here? 74-74. Aggies staying patient as we approach the 90-second mark for the second half. Rice with 10 on the timer. Wilson defending him on the switch. Rice maneuvers around Robbie Wilson, and he lays it in. It was a huge mismatch.
Yeah, Jabari backed up a little bit to create that space and just went right around him like he was standing still.
Timeout Firestorm, and you could tell Robbie Wilson did not want to switch.
Yeah, it looked like, too, they had him bunched up, and Jabari wanted to go to the right, but showing that versatility, backed up, saw the space to the left, and nobody helped out Wilson coming from that left side. But you talked about it. You got to ride your guys that got you to the dance, and that's Jabari Rice, and right now, Donnie Tillman.
Yeah, the veterans certainly stepping up here for the Aggies, Rice and Tillman. Tillman in his 5th year. Jabari's now a redshirt junior, and if you're an Aggie fan, you like your chances down the stretch when you lead by 2 and you have Chris Jans on your sideline. This is where Chris Jans is so great down the stretch, trying to outcoach the other bench. He's a tactical genius, and Chris Jans is trying to win his 84th game as the Aggie head coach, and this one has not been easy.
Well, we've seen it a couple times, drawing up a defensive play here, and it's probably more just man-to-man, keep your man in front of you, and crash the boards. but drawing up a nice play on the offensive side. We've seen him out of a couple of timeouts, even when they didn't have the possession out of the timeout, drop some really nice plays. That backdoor to Henry was one of the last ones I can remember. And Henry's been a little bit quiet because it's really been the Rice and Tillman show here the last 2 minutes.
Have you seen an improvement with Jabari Rice from last year to this year?
Oh, gosh, yeah. I mean, and honestly, a lot of it is just his presence on the floor. He seems very controlled and very comfortable being the guy out there. Didn't have to be the guy last year. A lot of times, though, when you're named WAC preseason player of the year, we've seen that be a detriment to guys. He seems very comfortable out there, understanding the game and letting the game come to him. And his rebounding. I mean, gosh, you mentioned it. I mean, he's just all over the place.
That's a given, yeah. The Aggies break huddle with Rice, Gilliard, Tillman, McCants, and Henry. Kyle Wilson, Goudreau, Johnson, and Gonzalez for Arizona Christian. Need a stop here if you're the Aggies. Here's Goudreau. Outside for Kyle for the lead. He rimmed it through.
Well, nice play for ACU out of the timeout. Good ball movement to drive to the baseline and skip the pass across.
Rice backdoor, a reverse slam for Johnny McCants when the Aggies needed it most. Still a big separation, game clock, shot clock. Kyle is blocked by McCants, and then he grabbed it. The fifth-year senior with the deuce, and then the swat. Chris Jantz telling Henry to stay patient. Here's Gilliard near midcourt. There's about a 1 second difference. The Aggies lead.
Great block on the help side from McCants.
And Gilliard is fouled by Johnson. It'll be 2 free throws. Double bonus for Evan Gilliard, 77% career free throw shooter.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they wanted to get the ball out of his hands or not, but here's that block by McCants. I mean, beats Henry. Great job by Henry not to collect the foul, and then Johnny just that step over and able to get the block and collect it, not knock it out of bounds.
Once again, it was a veteran, an older player, an experienced player who stepped up with 2 big plays here down the stretch. It's been a quiet night for Gilliard because of foul trouble. Evan Gilliard had a great offseason. He's been a leader. Chris Jantz has loved what he's done. Timeout called by Arizona Christian with the Aggies ahead by 2 and 14 seconds remaining. What a basketball game tonight. We thought, I think going in, Michael, that, yeah, it might be close for a half and then the Aggies pull away. Even though Arizona Christian's a top 10 NAIA program, but give a lot of credit to that bench. They are hanging tough and then some tonight.
Yeah, led by 5 at the half. A little tighter than we might have expected. You know, typically a team will start pulling away at that 13, 14-minute mark. Led by as many as 12, and you thought, oh, here they go. They're going to extend this. It's going to be, you know, one of those 20-point wins or whatever. But, yeah, credit to ACU. And really, their man Angelo Johnson scored 7 points in a row after not scoring the first 10 minutes of the second half. And that really got the confidence back for ACU. You could see just a change in their step.
The Aggies had to relocate to Phoenix on November 17th. 12 days ago, started practice 10 days ago, could not practice in New Mexico due to state restrictions. This is a 5-week plan for now. And they are building a schedule as they go. Johnson's been great tonight for the Firestorm of ACU.
Well, the Rudder's drawn up a play here to get a 3. I mean, a 3 wins it if Gilliard misses this one and ties it if he hits it. So, and they got, I mean, choose your poison. Gonzalez, Kyle, I mean, Wilson, anybody on the floor can hit the 3 for him.
Gilliard made both, and it is a 3-point game. Angelo Johnson with it into the front court. Taking some time here. He has to heave a 3. It's off the mark. McCants gets the miss. Jump ball or a foul.
I think they got a foul.
They call a foul on Goudreau with 2.4 left, and that will put Johnny McCants at the charity line for a pair. Possession arrow pointed to ACU, so if that would have been a jump ball, it would have been Firestorm ball.
Yeah, interesting that shot Johnson took there. Dribbled around it, dribbled at the clock, didn't really move the ball at all. We've seen them get some wide open 3s on the penetration and the dish out or the high-low game.
That's a crucial make right there for Johnny McCants.
Oh, Shaq's line, I make him when I need to.
He's only a 49% career free throw shooter. Made one of two, gets the offensive rebound,
Oh, wow.
sticks it in. And that'll do it.
Didn't see that one coming from Johnny.
Wow.
ACU forgot to rebound that one.
The Aggies survive in Glendale. First game of the season, and this is the new handshake line this year. You just kind of point, you wave, and you say, good game.
Well, ACU, I mean, they're not happy that they didn't pull this one out, right? But great showing, really shows you what that man, Jeff Rutter, has done with this squad in his 9th year. And, you know, for New Mexico State, at that point, it turned into, hey, first game, we just got to pull this out and get a win, and they relied on their big guys, you know, and Jabari Rice and Johnny McCants. And then, you know, Tillman was great down the stretch.
Yeah, I think that was one of the biggest takeaways is down the stretch. Those veterans stepped up, Donnie Tillman, Jabari Rice, and then Johnny McCants, who didn't do a whole lot for the first 39 minutes or so. And Johnny McCants in the final minute, both offensively and defensively, really made some plays when the Aggies needed him to. Adam Young, Michael Potter with Aggie head coach Chris Jans postgame. Coach, first game of the season, this has been a wild ride. What's your initial takeaways from this one?
I didn't know what to expect. I knew they were going to be revving to go, raring to go. Obviously having Division I team in their gym, probably never happened before. They're well coached. They were well prepared. They played really, really well. You know, we struggled. Obviously, I thought it would be a struggle at times. I wish we'd have played a little bit better, but, you know, it is what it is. And we needed this game. There'll be so many teaching moments for us. I'm certainly glad that we won. It wasn't one of our prettiest games, but we'll learn from it, grow from it, and hopefully be better in the next outing.
Coach, Jabari Rice, 14 points, 9 boards, 4 assists. He looked really big for you down the stretch when he had the ball in his hands.
He just plays so hard. You know what you're getting with him every night. He competes. He gives everything he has. We need more guys like him getting down the glass. He was relentless on the glass, had some big offensive rebounds. I thought Donnie Tillman played well at times. He missed a couple bunnies, a couple free throws. But we got to get better. We got to get better. You know, I can't imagine our guys expected a fight like this. I knew we were in for one. I didn't know how close it would be. I knew they were going to compete. They're going to play really hard. But, you know, young people sometimes don't listen to the coach.
Coach, C.J. Roberts made some big plays in the second half when Evan Gilliard was in foul trouble. What's your takeaway on C.J. tonight and also going forward?
Yeah, it was nice to see that. It'll be good for his confidence. We had some foul issues, like you mentioned, and he stepped in nicely. You know, it's him just getting an understanding of when to push it and when to explode and when not to. Because he's got a lot of talent. He made a 3 tonight, which was nice to see. He got in the lane a couple times. He had some early turnovers, but I think this will boost his confidence going forward.
All right, Coach, you play Benedictine Mesa Tuesday. You're kind of just building a schedule as you go, correct?
We are. So, like I said, this will be a great film session for us. Quick turnaround, which will be good, and we'll be hopefully better on Tuesday.
Coach, thanks for the time. Congrats on the win.
All right, guys, thanks.
That's Aggie head coach Chris Jans. The Aggies victorious in a tough one tonight. 83-77 the score. The new Senda Credit Union postgame show comes your way next.